Yeah. About 552,288 people actually completed the BEC.
Over 500,000.
552,288.
And a true BEC, you know.
True BEC.
Wow.
I'm complete just last Friday.
Wow.
Now they will go into 912 schools.
It is a senior high school, sir. A almost system, so near 912.
912 schools.
Technical for in account.
Both TVETs
Okay.
and the GS schools.
Okay.
912 schools.
Okay.
Last 3 years was 726 schools. Last year was 813 schools. And this year it has actually increased to 912 schools.
Okay.
In Tuosha this year, then last year the number was about 571,331. So this year it has decreased a little.
Okay, this year the student is what?
Aswate.
Okay.
Because 571 against 552.
Sure.
You should all know say students, you know.
That's
And
what.
the participating JHS schools, 18,011 schools.
18,011 schools
Participating JHS.
And almost student control BEC.
Very well. Into that 18,011 schools in England, almost 552,288.
Yeah.
So this year, that is the statistics behind.
Cssps are more better. It is a student here at Troy. It is more expectations. So we now would select schools.
Definitely.
Because now one select school.
You can't go to school. And I'm saying before we make church of the processes.
The process also
and the selection criteria for this year. Which kind of group this year you be placed? Who are those qualified to be placed this year? And so I'll give you all these details. And now updates. Because update and near my idea abekam.
Okay. No problem. No problem.
OSHA CSSPS stands for Computerized School Selection and Placement System. It started. That is 2005.
Okay.
That time now, Osafo
and
education. That time it was Minister for Youth and Sports.
Okay.
Ministry for Youth and Sports.
Education, Youth and Sports. EYS.
Yes. And you started 2005. Every year, you start here. Your placement that we call something review.
Okay.
We call something review.
Okay.
Me started placement 2017. And I started a Juma. Into your reviewer, your case reviewer, and your challenges now your previous years. Then we sit down as a stakeholders with all our stakeholders. Now we prefer solutions to those problems.
Okay.
It is, for example, last year when we came. Now you try say, because 2017 you started any review. No, there was some challenges.
Okay.
And what were the challenges? We saw say, I want your day, sir. You propose to the BBFN a self-placement model. Embra, so okay.
Yeah.
Because those times you buy not almost more than 20,000 people couldn't get a school in their selection of the 5 schools. Those are not 5, some selected 5 schools. They couldn't get access. And those times, they do it manually. And the time a manual be placing nipa be 20,000. Sometimes, be sure. Now if you are a second term grano, they be no intimate placing. And yes, a fast solution a be boy man for moment to school. In term, and if you find a self-placement model, I want your schools now back and saying now you do mugu yourself for your portal and so now when your school was selected, and also within 3 days once and now into these are some of the solutions from 2017 that we have done now up till this time. Because from 2017 we have done something called the day boarding issue. It's also a policy that we brought on board. We have the 30% public equity. And also some of the, as a result of challenges that we had, and also this policy also by to solve some of the problems that we were having.
Okay.
We have the raw scores and the grade system that we brought on board. So all these things were born out from the challenges that we had. And this year, the year review there was some challenge that actually came in. So the minister actually put a committee together for us to ensure that at least those challenges, we prefer solutions to them. And what were the challenges? Last year, you who said after the placement, about nipa more than 3,000 had between a grade 9 to 15 couldn't get a school.
Over 3,000.
Yes.
Between aggregate 9 and 15
school. But meanwhile, no social so now your friend is saying first class schools, some of them are empty.
Oh.
It means someone said, no, this thing cannot happen. So let's bring something called the cluster-based system.
Cluster-based system.
And now this year,
okay.
Cluster, the cluster-based system. So it was out of the challenges that we actually realized. That is why we are reference.
What is our solution?
This year, the cluster-based system. Did you see also the update that we have added to this year placement policy now? The cluster-based, that is the main way I and you hope it is not this year. The placement policy is not all that different, but it's the cluster-based system. And this year, so you're saying this STEM schools and also Abekang.
STEM schools. Okay, new ones.
You have science, technology. Say 5.
5. I ready.
Ready.
More they can't here. It means say schools no after CSSPS no at the placement in the bar would find students in those schools. Those 5 schools. 5 schools.
No. This time they're the STEM schools and Abekang and you did the cluster-based system. Metro. You do that selection criteria now. Let me start here.
Yeah.
Metro how. This year it is not all that different from last year. The only placement policy at the cluster-based system. So Metro was saying no better say 1. This year, the selection criteria and say any all selected 6 schools.
6
schools. It's not different from the last year.
But the last year 5.
No, it was 6.
6. Okay.
Yes. What was last 2 years? That
and
was
then 5. Okay.
But last year was 6.
Okay.
This year, so the same 6 schools.
Okay.
And your category A, which comprises of 86 schools.
Okay. Category A schools near 86. The whole Ghana.
Yes. It comprises of both the TVET schools and the GS
and GS schools. No. Okay.
You are supposed to select one school. 1
from category A out of 86. No.
Out of 86. Category B. There were 264 schools.
Okay.
And so the maximum that you can select from there is 2.
Okay.
And also included both
the GS schools and TVET schools. Okay.
Category C.
Category B, you know, also the maximum you can select, you're saying 2. And a category A, 1. Okay.
Category C, it comprises of 562 schools.
Okay.
Two canning in Abomebe, 912 schools. Category B, category A, 86 schools.
Yes.
Category B, 264 schools. Category C, 562 schools.
Okay.
And the maximum that you can select from that.
From category C, no?
5.
5 schools.
5 schools.
And I just say in all, no, what for 8 schools?
No, in all, no, there be. So
category A, 1 school.
Yes.
Category B, 2 schools.
And yes, no.
Okay.
Yes, in all, no, select 6 schools.
Okay.
Okay. If you bit now select, select 5 schools from category C. Not select
1 from okay.
Yes,
I get it.
You understand?
I get it.
And you walk the catchment day area day school, and all the schools, no, if any it comprises of 912 schools.
Okay.
The catchment area day schools, and no, you are supposed to select it as compulsory school.
1 day school,
compulsory within 16 kilometers or 10 miles radius
of Baby Awote. It not just say wafa or 6 schools na we no.
Now wafa 5 schools.
Wafa 5 schools. In the 6th one na be o compulsory day school no. Okay.
But that's what you say. Now compulsory day schools no so compulsory school you fit be a friend no special boarding schools. Special boarding schools is within the your friend is 1 to category C and category D no.
Okay.
I didn't think friend special day schools because over the years we have seen say some schools be or even year placement na we no nipa ho na be 10.
Okay.
20. It's your friend low enrollment schools. Low enrollment school. This are low and ufas are low enrollment schools num bia. And no they choose choose day or boarding. Because of say honum enrollment in day or boarding. In the category 6 we 2 types. Once I'll pick that 120 schools you can do it as day or boarding. Or ufa outside the 120 and there you must choose it as what compulsory day. But just what need a good school registering. But as I say, ATF wants so ATF say who choose all these schools here, you must make sure that you choose one your residential status. One your residential status and a program. Your residential status
for every school
that you choose.
We choose residential status, whether open day or boarding. Now we choose programs for every school.
But my main country must say a lot of people make mistake when they are choosing their programs. Adentia. Only say the computer doesn't know anything called ABA arts. All these things are represented in codes. For example, general arts is 501.
501.
And to choose 502 as general science, the computer will recognize, even though you want to choose arts, now could choose 502. You have chosen
general science.
General science. Instead of the arts that you want.
It was more specific on the number.
Meticulous when they are choosing their schools. They have to be very meticulous when they are choosing their codes of programs. Because I know that sometimes a lot of internet problems. Man choose general arts. Other internet general arts. But it's because of the code that you chose. And computers be garbage in, garbage out.
Yes.
What you produce with the computer, that's what it fits in. So we should be very meticulous when you are choosing the schools. Then let me go to what we call the cluster-based system. The cluster-based system, in Pempi, you realize it, say, about the cluster-based, how it's
yes.
The cluster-based system, a group of schools are. Your group first class schools. For example, who open page 121 of the school register, it will give you some of the cluster schools. For example, the cluster based your group school be to say Sunyani Senior High School, St. James, Brekum, Our Lady of Providence. Category A. But Sunyani. But just what I say. Cluster 2. Tamale Senior High School, Ghana Senior High School, Tamale St. Charles, Navrongo, Laura, SHS, Nandom, SHS, St. Francis, Cluster 2. About Cluster 3, school be like Achimota Senior High School, Every Girl Senior High School, St. Mary Senior High School, Temas SHS, Presby Boys, that's Presec Legon, St. Peter's Senior High School in Kwetia, and St. Thomas Aquinas. 80, so Uchusu Abia, first class, Uchusu school, Abia. And a cluster-based system is optional. Optional. Until you choose a cluster, ABA 2 and as a cluster 3. You choose a first class, you choose presec. When ya? Ain't computer and Babylon say cluster now, what choose to say, why was that program that way now?
Okay.
But yourself,
okay.
Okay. Now, cluster is optional.
Opa
now. Because your cluster schools now from category A, B, and C.
It is a material. Say, all start say we have selection now. You do the normal 6 schools. Never say we choose.
Very good.
So our 6 schools no includes 5. I no be free A, B, C. Abba. And 1 compulsory day schools. No when you're 6. There is an optional.
There's an optional for
cluster schools. No one choose a cluster. And you're optional. And then you're by force. Okay.
In general, boy say, one say, in Pempi, sometimes Obi is school be a Wesley Girls High School. Obi to a grade 07.
But on your home.
A science. And you say, was as a science.
Sure.
On your home. The second choice one could say be agri and a national also when you mukwain. And never could to the test school be any good.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, in all 7 is a very good grade that he should have gotten.
Yeah.
She should have gotten a school. But once let's see say be a Wesley Girls, maybe and also
I know what cluster be.
Maybe a cluster 8, Wesley Girls, Holy Child, Archbishop Potter Girls, and Rosie Senior High School, Fancy man.
It is the one in Wesley Girls now.
Now a crime with any of cluster now. A crime with any of these winner
top schools or the okay, that's interesting. That's interesting.
So we are trying to prefer a solution to a problem.
Yeah.
Because last year you could see sometimes so when you agree 7, maybe when you
the first choice.
But if you give such a person equally good school,
because
it will calm
Wesley Girl, Archbishop Potter Girls.
Yes.
When you're Holy Child,
it will calm the system down. You want to go to Ibia Presec, at least not Presec when you want to be St. Peter's Science At least St. Peter's is at least
sure.
That is why this year we have come
up with
the cluster-based system. So people should understand it and patronize the cluster-based system because it is coming to solve a problem.
Baba, I don't know because listening to you, yes, I agree. From experience, the best solve a lot of problems. Why didn't you make it compulsory? I didn't an optional.
Say no there. You have to give a limitation to everything, so that at least will be the freedom of choice. But saying your mouth whether yes or no. And once I oppose you don't want to join the cluster base, then the system first choice and no one will be fine. But once you subscribe to the cluster based system, you'll be able to get your
but I think to be safe, it was so be a selected cluster schools. The point is the point is for almost all of these schools, everyone says Wesley Girls category now, which is cluster 8 now. All the schools in there grade A schools.
Yes, grade A schools.
They are all grade A schools.
We have groups according to categories.
Categories.
Yes.
Yeah.
Category A is on a cluster.
Category B on a cluster. On a C on a cluster. Good. It is to say cluster 8 no we grade A schools no. In the normal selection process, in fact grade A schools you can only pick one.
Yes, pick one. But in case in case we are providing as a buffer.
Sure.
Cluster as a buffer. Sure. In case you don't get even Wesley Girls, you can even now choose cluster now.
Cluster now. You get an equally good school. Yeah, that's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. It's really a good intervention. I'm hoping parents any teachers never tears here. Now in this year say fail form now. Ebema the options choose a cluster school to give you that option.
That's an option.
Okay. Yeah. In the just say student any parents they are aware. Yeah. Say option be say me have selected. That's really good. That's
really good. These are the new interventions that we are bringing on board. And as STEM Academy, which is all have been grouped into category C.
Okay.
In terms of choose STEM school, but also science, technology, engineering, mathematics schools and that. And I think they have well resourced. Very good school. I think that people should also patronize the STEM schools. No? Yes. Because last year I'm very amazed, Obi, to be very frank with about the TVET schools. They are doing wonderful. Because last year about 45,000 people were enrolled
in TVET schools.
Yes, not placed though.
Oh,
enrolled in TVET schools.
Wow, that's nice.
Yes, and I would tell you the number of people who are patronizing it is serious.
That's really good.
And can you believe that last a lot of the first class schools after our automatic placement now TVET schools in first class will be IMA.
Hey. Wow.
If let's say if infrastructure are put in the TVET school, I'm telling you, a lot of interest are in the TVET schools, and I believe that in the next few years, it will have a serious competition with the junior schools.
PRO, my yentio. I mean, listening to Sasuno, not just a lot of thinking I go through this year, Okay, Sasu bra say na parents na a lot of thinking go through what you intend doing this year. So there are challenges nibia kakra mu last year no ensign MBO cluster concept here solid.
Munya obi me da say. Em say before I make asakura no mame embo munya pani saso abaso. Wa church ade ni ma na me bisa me say na me kura kwasi kwa ten dey na me dey back because so bisa me say we deal with adni pa.
Yes.
But I mean so me dey kakra back ho. First of all, on the issue of cluster no. Osha based on past experiences,
sure.
Any precedents
sure.
Abba with regards to selection and the placement process no and the bedru sa intervention ya na innovation ya Minister for Education owura Dr. Yosef Duchum ne na pam for say yenhwe na yemfa emboa in terms of placement no enko nanimu na meka free say the menua be masa so cheche mu na fa ne say obi a fa presec legon na onya grade 8 expectation is a grade 8 with general science no enko benya kwanya ye dey ewuram now so grade 8 na wonya ye no ebi ana nipa mako nko 400 na enya grade 8 ni bi onipa sa 400 no nyina so fa general science ebi kura no mo sa fa boarding status but declare vacancies e wo ho no e bi a 200 na presec legon ye dey e declare enti e wo kwan soronko so a afidie ne be fa so ye dey acheche onu nyina ebeti ma hwe didi kan bi ade onya once bebre ebeti ma look even sometimes the raw score sometimes even the program and the residential status na dey achechim na achechim hu za kura na onya assess no anka ordinary like I said ne kon the second choice be boa na second choice and be the miami school by example bi akono good ma say na kai hu say the second choice so be first choice nti bi obekọ na hwa dey ayema na ade a yesua ewo process ya ye mu nyina che say sa akora na onya 6 of a presec legon wanya kwanya no sa akora na huma no bia prempe college obede obekọ
that's true
akora na man St. Peter's obede obekọ enti na minister na mpanifo no nyina task no no let's have an innovation I mean something novel a de be na ama kwanya ma nipa bebre dey anya kwanya a place because we placement na abribia no yeah, will be a friend of the automatic placement. Placement models in your hold automatic placement is a fidina na benwaya you are to baby. Na ebu ha automatic ni ebe wie na nya obia na the school of fire no why dey wenya because we can cheche mu say wo bi a first choice no e obi second choice program choice ni identity me dey ema bi a school kro na wonya dey wunya na wo hwe secretariat ni Ministry of Education ade a yem penny say ebe impose a choice on anybody. And until abribiano, Ubunza, Wofo, so, me banana for one of the Nakoto, Buhani, Akasa, Ubi, and Minagasa, on for placement form, no Ramia day, because we had a selection process no day of 5. And the INS say, you impose any choice on anybody. And you be, you know, let us say a lot of people know so as I could be a friend of self placement model. Self placement just say a quack baby on one cast at list of schools be on also bed the baby schools na dey every but the be a do na the grade ni school or open the schools are dey aka nti hada na yemfa kwanya ma cluster in any event say be any compulsory one more mo pese they should be treated in cluster no say the menua sazukan for instance o hwe cluster 9 of baby say infantipem into of infantipem no wa ma other list of schools at this other college or more St. Augustine or more Accra Academy. Na unu bisa akora wa nya mfantepem no ma no adisa da obako wobako papa drimika na beko o ma no St. Augustine drimika na beko nti ye na minister say yenhwe na yenfa cluster ne ma na ye dey emeyi fro but before me proceed no I think say we've dealt much with the cluster one other thing I'm person address here the categorization of the schools him say menua saso aka ho asempa nanso ye kirim matiefo ehu ni ya ebeboa o category A category B and a category C. Now category A no and a brony be friend the overly subscribed schools.
Yes.
This is the schools never be brief to have a paper any home. In the only school I mean in other words, yeah, Ministry of Education referring to overly subscribed schools. Now so go for friend the early schools. On the school where the paper presec legon no and no school see a call national fantasy. Separate ko at this school so one more schools na ho dey bru girls na ho dey no e wo soro afei oba na e wo school bi so e fe no averagely subscribed schools one more so category B schools no na say ho so no enipa pe na so dey compare e na enipa bebre dey efa enti oba hwe schools no e bi a Miami school kono good ma say ono wo B wohwe school bi a Manfred Girls OB wohwe National OB Agri OB I'm using based on last year yeah no one so OB na for aba C no nso no ya na eno nso ahoden no ne subscription ni interest rate no nso enuru e form we dey compare A ni B na no nso Miami school Miami Kroma Asante Achim do me about Oreman eno nso e C and list of other schools and also we see category no so where they then you come to the compulsory day school means say that one is within your catchment area. No the whole idea and say any of your choices and when and you have an access to day school say day school the offer car or no ide open no ide waba so and you know the boarding say bia nya dey enim. That is the whole idea. But a hono obuso akwa still or insist even at that choice no cross up so the boarding school. That's why we give you the opportunity for special boarding school and also be there obefa. Ni bi onso no menua sasubo some list of schools bi a em say ehonso no ka the STEM schools na ye ka ho asem no. I think you are looking at about 5 of them say this year ye dey HRC. Ohe school bi dey Bosontre Girls STEM school. Afi ebe biem pa memofra won mo interested in STEM career pathway no etimako because obo ho ni interest nyina no ono pese engineering no yede okoye oye aerospace engineering okoye bi petrochemical engineering okoye nti minister say emfa kwan a they be critique career pathway even from the secondary level kwan sa no metima yede akọ at the tertiary level nti won mo schools we there won mo ewo interest in science, technology, engineering and math no ana one mo ebefa school so ti Bosomtwe Girls e baako a fully fledged for instance senior high school STEM kwan no mo ye abomasu STEM school say what ti kuro bi se fe no kwase na kwesempe what ti kwesempe
da bio eno north
ana awaso so okuro mo de bo a otimi bo kuro di awaso and very finally the make only inclusion of the TV schools no TV schools no nam say menua sasuka say numbers no kosro we last year around 45,000 subscription rate one of my place you more pick up enrollment and last year the shared number na akosro because this year you are looking at about 212 TVEST institutions and so the expectation is about cost room and the last year to for over 45,000 now this year the expectation is over cost what the fans offer 45,000 you are now getting about 90,000 students one more within the TV space in a space of 2 years almost so enya kwanya esua de now so on pia bontia abribia no mo mebuso obi adwuma sure one sanu adwuma ne kwan fa so nko tete omo ne mfidi a omo access to dino one so ba omo so akonya ho omo so dimi de eyo munuma and wo hwe these are the interventions in the short term no ye dia ba ye nim say it will have positive outcome na at the end of the day no at least senkete enka na yesi nkora akosa live stadium last year nyankopo adom sasunu mu adwuma omo ye minister mo ya ntibi you say this year so no because say automatic placement no because of the cluster system no you expect say be dey ebenya kwanya to be placed within the automatic system so the beya Mr. Sammy school we me kwa ha ne nyina no sa ho no nyina no be form kakra
True indeed. PRO of the Education Ministry, Kwesi Kwaten Amoten and Kano Ele Amote Sasu and Kasasu in charge of the Cssps. We say Obi, I kept saying there should be a better alternative to the self-selection process, which created a lot of problems for the Cssps almost every year. Some of us went on to proffer some ideas similar to the cluster, which I'm hopeful will resolve the tensions if we encourage and promote it very well. Kudos to the ministry, Mark and his team. But tell Mark to pick his calls after placement. Why? Starsky, New York. Good afternoon. With the cluster process, I think the schools there are equally in the first, second, and third choice categories. So what is the probability that when an individual misses his or her first choice school and chooses a cluster system, he or she would get access to the schools in there, knowing that such schools may be full by then? And that's another very important question. By more entry or Adenta will deal with your question after this short break. Ekosiisen Suni Higher Sempa 94.7 FM. Yente we mrayaba omoha. They will respond to your questions and if possible, we'll open the phone lines. Namonso more than